Hi, today we're going to have a look at how to place images on your web pages. Now, if you're used to using Word or Publisher, you'll know that in those programs you can drag images around and put them pretty much wherever on the page you want to. Web pages don't work like that in practical terms for a number of reasons. We're stuck with a few restrictions. So we'll have a look at those today. Now, from your dashboard we'll come down here to Pages and Edit, and I'm just going to edit the About page. And here we've got a page with just some boring text on it, so let's put an image on it to dress it up. So what I'm going to do first is click at the start of this first paragraph here. The top of the image will align with this paragraph once we've finished. Now up here on the Upload Insert bar, I'm going to click Add an Image, and then I'm going to click Select Files, find the image on my hard drive and upload it. Now, if you've got a large image or a slower internet connection, that may take a little bit longer to upload than that, but once you get here, you get the general idea. So what we're going to look at first is the title. Now, the title on many computers and many browsers will display as a little yellow tooltip that pops up when you put your mouse over an image sometimes. The theory behind it is it should describe the image if the image doesn't load, for example. So if you've got people in your image, put their names. Basically just put in there what the image is if it doesn't load for whatever reason, and people are going to see it if they put their mouse over it as well. So we'll scroll down a bit and look at these other options. We've got our alignment here. Now these are basically our options. Left, center or right are really the three main ones that you'll be using. Right is the one that I tend to use the most. We read from left to right, image floats off to the right, text is in a straight line on the left hand side. It just makes it a bit easier to read the text from the screen. We've got some size options here that we can use. Medium is the one that you'll tend to use most of the time, so I'm just going to insert that into the post, and here we go. There's our image floating off to the right, text neatly floating off to the left. Now I can change that by clicking the image and then clicking this Edit Image button, and maybe I want to float it off to the left, and then click Update. And there's the image off to the left, and the text will float around to the right. Now if there's a bit more text on that page, what's going to happen is it'll be lined up here, and then at some point it's going to wrap around and the text will be underneath the image here. And the point at which that wraps around is sometimes a little bit untidy, so I tend to avoid floating images to the left. And of course the other option is to center it. Sometimes you'll notice it's centered the text in the paragraph under it as well. We don't really want that to happen, so I'm going to change this, align it back off to the right and update it. If I wanted to center an image, what I'm going to do is press enter there, so I've got this extra line in here, and I'll drag my cursor down so you can see the black line there where it's aligned to. Now I'm going to click center and update it, and there we go. That paragraph's aligned to the left, that paragraph's aligned to the left, the image is centered in the middle. This is a technique you'd use if the image was a bit bigger and didn't float neatly between the two, or to the left or the right of the paragraphs, so you could put it in the middle like that. Now what I'm going to do is change that back to, change that back to aligning to the right and update it, and I'm going to drag until I can see the black line under there. If you look closely, there we go. So that's was back aligned in front of the T and then this again. And what we're going to do now is put a caption on here. So the caption might be Mustang rear section. I know that's not a very inspiring caption, but it's the best I can come up with at the moment. Click Update, and we'll see there's a fine line around here that holds that text to that image. So the text I type over on the left hand side here can, I can move that around and it'll wrap around underneath the picture when it gets there, but that caption will stay attached to that picture there. So there are standard image alignment options. We'll just have a quick look at a couple of advanced settings here that you may need from time to time just to tweak things. So again, select the image and click the Edit button. And up the top here I've got some advanced options. I'll scroll down a bit. Now if you make this image into a link by clicking the image to select it and then using the insert link button from the toolbar, sometimes you'll get a blue border around that image after you've made it a link. To turn that off, just set 0 in the border field there. That will disable any images. Now another thing that you can use from time to time, if the text is getting a bit close to your image when you're floating it to the left or to the right, you can use vertical space or horizontal space here just to help push the text away from the image a bit. Only come back and do these if you really need to. There'll only be specific circumstances where that becomes a drama. So once I update those, you may notice that the text is a bit further away from here than it used to be. Alright, so there about the extent of our options with basic image management. Thanks for watching.